And tonight on the Showbiz Countdown, beautiful women, horrible crimes. Showbiz Tonight is counting down the top 3 infamous women whose crimes and looks captivated the nation. With us tonight from Hollywood, 2 of the most famous bounty hunters on the planet, Dwayne "Dog" Chapman and his wife Beth. They have been catching bad guys and girls for nearly 40 years. They're about to launch their new CMT show, Dog and Beth on the Hunt. It is great to have you guys back on Showbiz Tonight.
Thank you, brother. Great to be here.
AJ?
Well, let's kick off our countdown, and we do it with number 3. Jodi Arias, accused of killing her boyfriend Travis Alexander, and her testimony and nonstop live coverage of her trial every day here on HLN has just been gripping. The trial continued today, Jodi claiming that she stabbed Travis 27 times and shot him twice in the face in self-defense, but only after repeatedly changing her story. Let's watch.
Did you kill Travis Alexander?
Absolutely not.
I was nowhere near Mesa. I was nowhere near Phoenix. The last time I had any kind of sexual contact with Travis was in April.
I witnessed Travis being attacked by 2 other individuals.
All right, Dwayne, I've been dying to get your insight on this, man. Jodi has dramatically changed her look. She was pretty and then not so pretty. Let's take a look at her before as a blonde. This is before the trial, and then you see her, what she looks like during the trial with the dark hair, kind of downplaying her pretty features. Do you think, Dwayne, that this is going to help her, the fact that she made the change in this direction?
Well, usually your lawyer tells you how to dress. Not that her lawyer told her that, but you know, usually the lawyer tells you to wear a collar that buttons up, and maybe she looked too appealing, and usually that's not the defendant or the accused killer's fault. That's usually the lawyer who tells them how to dress. So I think the prettier they look, the less they could be convicted. This lawyer obviously thinks the opposite.
Yeah, Beth, do you think if the lawyer was the one giving her the advice to dress down, change her hair and all that, it was good advice?
Well, it's always good advice. You're facing 12 men and women, and you don't want those men and women to think that you're promiscuous or that you had it coming, or, you know, sort of flaunt your beauty or your attributes per se. You know, you're not on a date, you're on trial. So there's a proper way for you to be seen, for you to be credible. And I think that, you know, no bleach blonde hair, you know, a darker, calmer person who, you know, appears to be in control of themselves is a much better defendant.
But Dwayne, you think if she had remained sort of the pretty Jodi, it actually would have helped her not get the conviction that she may get?
Well, if I was on the jury, it would have been. But, you know, look at her hair. Look at, see that? No, I think that, you know, today's jurors, your peers, they know what's happened and they see that. So anything that could look like a lie becomes a lie.
Yeah.
But again, that's probably lawyering.
Well, you could say that Jodi is kind of a pretty little liar. We have heard so many convoluted explanations from her, especially when she tried to explain to prosecutor Juan Martinez what happened the night that she killed Travis. Let's watch that together.
Stepped out of the shower and then came after you, right?
He picked me up.
That's coming after you, isn't it?
I guess. I think when I think of coming after, I think of chasing, but he was already right next to me.
So he didn't come after you then, all right? So at that point, you weren't afraid because he wasn't coming after you then, right?
I was afraid because he picked me up and body slammed me.
Were you not afraid because he wasn't coming after you? You said he wasn't coming after you, right?
Objection, double negative compound question.
Oh, really?
He wasn't chasing me yet. We were right next to each other.
You could kind of call this a case of Beauty versus the Beast. Beth, do you think that the Beauty is going to walk away scot-free, or is a conviction a no-brainer from what you've been seeing of this trial?
Well, I think a conviction is a no-brainer, and it's mainly because she is emotionally vacant. And, you know, people who just sort of, you know, did that kind of a crime because of passion or because they were so angry that they snapped, you know, they still have emotion about it because they still lived through, you know, a very heinous thing. You know, she had a lot of time to think about it. She changed her story several times. You know, she really put a lot of thought into being the witness. And I think that what we see every day is her manipulating the jury into believing that, you know, that she is calm and collected and that what she's saying is accurate. She doesn't make a lot of movement with her eyes. Her body language is she's very conscious of her body language. You know, she's really, you know, trying to save her own life at this point. The statements that she's made that she would never get convicted of this. You know, there are people, you know, if you remember Farrah Fawcett, she did the burning bed.
Right.
You know, there are people that are victimized really bad through domestic violence that do someday snap. But those people are still affected by what they're saying and by what they're reliving every single day. Jodi is not.
Yeah, I think you hit it exactly right for what we're all seeing in Jodi Arias. But let's move now from one beautiful woman accused of a tragic killing to another who did walk away free. It's Casey Anthony, number 2 in our Showbiz Countdown of beautiful women accused of horrible crimes. Casey, acquitted, of course, of killing her young daughter, Kaylee. People are still so angry about this, that she wasn't convicted. There's still so many unanswered questions. For instance, how could a mother party in public knowing that her young daughter was missing and get a tattoo with the words Bella Vita at the same time there was this frantic search going on for her daughter and not report little Kaylee missing for 31 days? Dwayne, do you think how Casey looked and how she behaved during the trial had anything to do with her getting off?
No, I think her lawyer, again, lawyering. She had one of the greatest attorneys. He took it head on. And, you know, he told his client how to act. You know, the first girl we talked about, I think, would kill again. I don't think that this one would kill again. And I think, you know, there wasn't enough evidence to convict her. The police somehow, the investigators, completely dropped the ball on that. But I think the lawyer was why she walked. He was incredible.
Wow. Yeah, no, that really sums it up, I think, as well. This is a lawyer who really did a good job, but interesting to hear your take on Jodi and what she might do again versus Casey. But right now it's time to reveal who we think is number 1 and who we've put at number 1 in our Showbiz Countdown of beautiful women and horrible crimes. The woman who became known as Foxy Knoxy. We're talking about Amanda Knox. She was an American student in Italy accused of stabbing to death her Italian roommate. She and her boyfriend convicted of murder. Dwayne, Knox's sex appeal took center stage during the trial. Did it work against her in this case, do you think?
I think that it worked against her in the beginning. I think that they made up a story kind of a witch hunt. Then again, the prosecution got busted faking a bunch of evidence. And, you know, the appellate court was like, wait a minute, America's watching. That's an American you got on trial. You cannot fake evidence in America and get away with it. And that's, you know, I think they blew it up for some reason. I don't even think the prosecution thought she was guilty because even on the appeal they didn't do that. So, you know, I think again, the prosecution made things up, and we, you know, Americans stuck up for her. We saw that, and we're like, she didn't do this, you know. But I don't think her sex appeal had too much to, maybe in the beginning when they started naming her, you know, the sexy Nazi and all that. But I think that it's
not so much in the end.
That.
All right, Dwayne,
Right.
Beth, really great to get your take on all this. I do appreciate it, and I want to make sure everybody checks out Dog and Beth on the Hunt on CMT Sunday, April 21st, and they're going to be on Monday nights, Hawaii 5-0 on CBS. Great having you guys here.